Hey there, sweet friends. Let's do some crafting, creating some last minute fall decor and decorations. Guys, my name is Tracy. I love to share crafty ideas with a bit of rustic country charm. I'm so glad that you're here, and let's get started. I am so happy with the way this sweet little pumpkin shelf sitter turned out. Now, guys, what I used for the pumpkin are these plastic shower curtain rings. I got this pack over at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. The fabrics I'm using are these two. They are from JubileeFabric.com. I have shared my love of JubileeFabric.com. I also get some homespun and different fabrics from Hobby Lobby, sometimes Walmart, but for these autumn or fall looking or different seasons, I love JubileeFabric.com. Now, what I did is I just laid it out and just took my ruler, and then about every 3/4 of an inch, I just put a little notch, and then I just ripped it so that I could have the ripped edges. Then I just took my Fabri-Tac glue, and then I am just going to kind of like where the part where the shower curtain like hooks together, that's kind of where I just started. That just worked best for me. And I just put some Fabri-Tac glue on there. You can also use hot glue, but in my opinion, the Fabri-Tac glue dries really quick. And so I was able to wrap it all the way around and then just tack it there as I went along. I did 4 of the larger check fabric and then 4 of the smaller plaid pattern from Jubilee Fabric. And so then I have 8 rings for my pumpkin. So for my pumpkin stems, there are a lot of different materials that people use for their pumpkin stems. Now, these wood pieces, I got some of them from Dollar Tree, some from Hobby Lobby. I could not find any of the small thin ones, or like they're thin but cut a little bit longer. They're a little bit wider. And I didn't have time at the time of this video to ask my husband, hey, can you cut me some pumpkin stems? I had found this wood bundle from Hobby Lobby, and it's in the Christmas section. So at the time of this video, they have their Christmas stuff 50% off. And so I said, oh, this might work for my pumpkin stems. So I purchased it and just cut it apart. It has some felt on the back so that, you can wrap it around different things, different projects, or in your decor. So I just took my heat gun and just got that felt off of there, kind of melt that glue on there. Some of them came off a little bit easier than the other ones, but I just used my needle nose pliers or whatever I could to get that felt off of there. And so at first I was going to use some E6000. Then I'm like, you dummy, that is some wood. So I pulled out my Tite Bond wood glue and then glued those together, kind of matching up the stems or the, pieces where I felt that they went together nicely. And so then I just, let them dry with my little clamps. To assemble my pumpkin, I am just using some hot glue, and how I started is the shower curtain ring has like a flatter side, so that is what I'm going to be gluing next to the stem of the pumpkin, and I just used some Gorilla hot glue, and I kind of positioned it, glued it at the, like I'm looking at a clock, like the 12, 3, 6, and 9 position. I glued those 4 on there, then I go back with the other 4 and glue those in in between there so that I have the even spaces for my pumpkin. And I just really think that it looks really, really cute. And so then once I get all of those glued on there, then I just took a piece of fabric, ripped fabric, and then I just go in between carefully so that I don't like knock them off. And then I tie that tight through there so that it gives it an extra hold. To decorate the top, this is the fun part for me. I just took my fine excelsior and added it to the top, pushing it down with my masking tool to kind of get in there. This fine excelsior I get over at Hobby Lobby. I like the thinner stuff and just love all the wispiness to it. Kind of sticks up and it just really makes my country heart happy. So what I did is also I'm using these burlap leaves, and I get these from the wedding section, the His and Her wedding section over at Hobby Lobby, as well as these curly cues. Now you can make your own, but it's fun when you can find things on sale and use them for your country crafts. And so I just took a couple of those leaves off. Now just going to cut those down a little bit shorter. Then to give it a little bit of dimension, I just took my Distress Ink and Vintage Photo, just went around and gave it a little bit of color. I take those curly cues apart as well. I'm going to cut all those down as I need to. The fine excelsior, what that does is it kind of adds like something for me to stick my leaves and my curly cues, my pip berries, and all of the other little things that I have going on here, and really adds as that, you know, something for like substance, something for my crafts to stick to. So I just cut these curly cues down and just gonna stick those in there. They were just a tad long, so I just clipped them off with my cutters and everything looks really cute. I also added some flowers. You can get these in the fall section at Hobby Lobby, or they have them, or they used to have them on a garland in the garland section at Hobby Lobby. And I love adding these to my crafts. Now, these orange and white pip berries are from the fall section at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is my choice where I love to shop. My purpose is really just to inspire you, to entertain you, just to share my gifts that the good Lord has given to me and to share them with so many people. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your very sweet and kind comments. Now, this pumpkin just turned out so cute, but I wanted my stem to be just a little bit taller. So I pulled out pieces of those other little wooden stems that I had in my bag. Now, I'm hoping that Dollar Tree I don't know, you know, every Dollar Tree is different in what supplies they carry. I had went to like 3 or 4 different Dollar Trees in my area, and I could not find any of those little wooden stems. And I just glad that I had one that I could finish out this video. So I just glued that there to the top just to make it stand up just a little bit more. Now, what I did is I told my husband, I said, hey, I'm going to need you to cut me some sticks because we do have quite a few trees in our yard. And when he cuts limbs, have him on the lookout to cut me some little pumpkin stems. So I have them for next season. this little crate is using this box from the Dollar Tree, as well as two of these mini cutting boards from Hobby Lobby. They're part of the fall season. I'm also using this 5 3/4 inch wood spindle that I got from Amazon, and some fall florals that I got from Walmart. All right, so what I did is take my antique wax just to give my box a stain. I just use that with a baby wipe, going around all of the sides and in on the inside. And I didn't worry about the bottom or the sides because you're not going to see that anyway. In the little crevices, I just used a paintbrush just to get in there in those little grooves. All right, so I took off the little tags for the cutting board. So I figure out which side I want to work with. And I did the same thing, just using a baby wipe and adding a little bit of stain. These kind of had a sheen to them. So I think that they already had something on them because it really didn't make that much of a difference. But I knew it, so it made me feel a little bit better. And so I just stained the sides, and the other one that's going to be kind of like the inside because I'm going to be using some paper for to Mod Podge onto the outside. Okay, so I'm going to be using some paper out of this Give Thanks paper collection. I chose this one right here. It is from Miss Kate Designs. I will have a link for that in the description box below, as well as my affiliate code that you can get $5 off. All right, so what I do is I figure out which pattern I want, and I just lay my cutting board down, just take my little pen and then trace it around that. Then I just cut it out and just take my time so that I can get a really nice cut. I'm going to be using the Mod Podge heat transfer method. I'm just putting a layer of Mod Podge on my cutting board. This is the side where the paper is going to go. It's a nice thin layer, but yet thick enough for it to have something to grab a hold to. I use my little heat tool just to dry this up a little bit more. And then I decided I wanted to take my spindle and actually give it a little bit darker coverage of that antique wax. Now this is the one that I get at Walmart by Waverly. The baby wipe, it was a little bit too light, so I just used a paintbrush and just brushed that on, and then took my towel and just rubbed it off, to get the little excess off. All right, so then to attach the paper to my cutting boards, I am just using my Cricut mini press. This is just the little iron that I use, and I have that piece of paper. It's just parchment paper. It's just a little barrier just to kind of protect your project. And so once that is all adhered, this is how they look. Those are going to be the ends of my crate. And so then once they're completely dry, then I just take my little mini sanding block that I got from Amazon, and I just sanded the edges of it. I also took my distress ink and went around the wood crate just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. I went around the my little cutting boards just to do that as well. Then I just took my little wispy brush. I got this little brush from Dollar Tree, and just some paint. This is just Drop Cloth by Dixie Belle, and I just am doing some dry brushing, just dipping it in and then brushing it off like the excess of it. I just want that wispy look like that. And now it's time to assemble my crate to my cutting board. So I just have my Tite Bond wood glue, just some dots of hot glue. I lined that up just to make sure that I like the placement. And then I put the crate on one side. And then I go ahead and add my spindle to that as well. And it just fits right in those little holes up at the top on those cutting boards. All right, so now I am just measuring out some styrofoam. I just got these blocks over at the Dollar Tree. And then to cover that up, I just found this brown fine excelsior over at Joann's, and just using some of that. I'm also going to be mixing in a little bit of the off-white excelsior, just kind of adding a little bit of that to my little crate project here, and it's going to be looking so cute. The little florals, as I mentioned, those came from Walmart, and so I cut off, the stems of those, and then just start gluing those in my little crate right here. I love these little crate projects. I had created one for Americana, this little 1776 one. I will leave a link for that one as well. And I can't wait to make another one for the holiday season, and maybe just for all of the different seasons, because these little cutting boards are so versatile. Hobby Lobby seems to have them for different seasons, and especially when they put all of their stuff on sale, I grab some of those, and so that I can make cute little projects like this. To add a little bit more country ness that I like, I'm putting some of these burlap leaves in there. The stems are a little bit, they're not very strong. So I took some pieces of that, what I cut those sunflower picks off of, and I just wrapped the wire around those just to make it a little bit stronger. And then I glued those in there. I also enhanced those little leaves with some vintage photo distress ink, just to give it a little bit of color, and just glue those in there. I also added some pip berries. Guys, I love me some pip berries. Those really do make my heart so happy. And so those kind of cream and orange pip berries I can get in the fall season over at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just absolutely loving the way that this little crate turned out. Of course, I could add a bow, or I could add something to the sides, but I just really like the simplicity of the beautiful paper, and I didn't really want to take away from it. And I hope that you love it as well, and maybe you'll give it a try too. This little plastic jar is a little mini mason jar. Now, I got this over at Dollar Tree. It's part of their crafter square section, and so I would need it to get that pesty sticker off of the side. So I just heated it up. I got a little bit too hot on there, but it just didn't matter. I kind of pushed my little jar, kind of gave it a little dent, but that is okay. I'm going to be using these potpourri or polka pods in the primitive country world. They're the blooms selection over at, or they're actually the collection over at Hobby Lobby. And so they've had them for a couple of years. So each year I do grab a bag when I see them. So I just filled my little mason jar up. Now, these right here did not have any scent or anything like that. I just love the color of it. So I just put the little top back on there, and the buffalo plaid, it came just like that from the Dollar Tree. All right, so then for the ring at the top, I'm just using a mini grapevine, and so I untwist it and then just kind of pull it apart so I can have it. I can work with it a little bit better because I need to have those little branches kind of spread out. And so then here I'm just kind of figuring, do I want to wrap it around? But then I decide I want to kind of like make a candle ring at the top. And so I'm going to be doing that. I'm also to be adding some pip berries. I just took the pip berries, and those come off of a garland in the fall section at Hobby Lobby as well. And I just kind of made my own little candle ring just by twisting them and just making it into a circle. And then I'll just be setting that on the top. And then with the little candles, those are the little flameless candles. I just got the little mini value pack over at Hobby Lobby. They're they're little LED flameless candles, and I got the orange ones. And so they just really turned out so cute. Sometimes we just want to have a little light, and these little flameless candles just turned out so cute.